All right. We are live. Hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello.
Hello.
And Mika seems to be talking with her English accent, like Mary Poppins, or like the chimney sweep in Mary Poppins.
Mm.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Maybe she's
Hello,
doing it with
Rob.
a German accent, and I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I first thought that was not English. I'm like, okay, let me,
Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it is
hello.
actually. Hello, hello, governor. That's how I'm. That's the way I'm reading this. Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah. Mm. Last night, I don't know why it's important, but last night I watched, I didn't watch a British movie. I watched someone reacting to a British movie, and I'm like, I feel like I haven't heard of any British movies, like movies that are like set in England. Like it
Love
was,
Actually. You've watched Love Actually, I'm sure. No?
watched some of it.
Pride and Prejudice?
Never watched it.
Oh.
So any like I don't know. Yeah, I guess I haven't really watched any. It was 28 days. What's your reaction to that? Uh
28 Days with Sandra Bullock?
no, 28 days with Killian
No.
Murphy.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
no, I won't.
it's a zombie movie.
Oh, I know.
It's about the outbreak of the apocalypse in London and like the first 28 days of that.
Where did you watch this? On YouTube?
No, I watched a reaction to it on YouTube. I
Oh,
don't
oh,
watch
oh, oh, oh.
I don't watch horror movies. I watch horror movies that interest me a little bit. I watch people react to them so that I can know what happens but not have to be scared and get all the blood and gore and nudity blurred out.
Have you ever seen, I don't even know if it's still on. I remember watching this, God, in like the 90s. So it
Oh,
may not even still exist.
okay.
Have you ever heard of Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No.
Oh my God. It was this hilarious show that was like these old, I want to say zombie movies, but I suppose they did all kinds of different movies,
Mm-hmm.
old movies that they would play on the screen. And then you could see, so it was like you were sitting in the back of the theater and there were three. I mean, I almost could think one of them was a person, one of them was like an alien, one of them was, I don't know. It was like three characters
Mm-hmm.
who basically just talked through the entire movie and made fun of it or did like the voices of stuff. It was just hilarious.
So the movies
Yeah, there's got to be on YouTube. There's got to be like clips of it or even entire shows.
so the movie's playing right here, right? And then
Yeah.
you see shadows of three people's heads and they're
Yeah.
just chit-chatting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Mika knows. Yes, I love Mystery Science Theater. Yeah.
Hmm.
I used to watch it like back in the 90s. And then I don't know if it went off the air or if I don't know, matured.
And they watched what, like horror movies
Um,
or older movies?
I always feel like they were watching black and white movies
Okay.
that were, I don't know, like King Kong kinds of
Okay.
movies, or although maybe some of them too were just like old black and white because they were like love scenes where people were like, and they were making fun, like doing the voices like, "Oh, Cliff, your breath is so bad," or I don't know.
Yeah.
They were putting in like alternate dialogue that was super
Okay.
funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really, you know what? I might YouTube and look and see if there's
Yeah.
shows on YouTube tonight and watch a little bit of that to calm myself down before I go to bed.
Yes.
Just
I think my dad probably has heard of it. Like probably watched it because he watches old movies. Like he used to do like TCM or whatever and have a subscription to that and watch
Oh,
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
all the old.
Those are old movies. Okay. I said really bad movies. I'm like, those aren't
No.
bad movies.
No,
Those
no,
are
no,
good.
no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
And every time I seen those movies, I'm like, damn, these movies are good. And I started watching Alfred Hitchcock, like the Alfred Hitchcock Presents. They have a
yeah.
channel on
Okay.
like my TV's a smart TV, so it's like Prime Live TV or whatever. So they have a channel for that, and that is like that's fun. And my dad's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's just really good. So yeah, but I don't know. I like seeing I like seeing like yeah people react to movies I'm not gonna watch because I'm not I'm not watching The Terrifier, right?
Right.
I
Right.
can't, that's not happening. So I'll watch people react to it and, get to see clips of it, but most of it's not shown. You can just kind of hear it happening in the background. So,
Okay. I feel like you would like Mystery Science Theater then,
I,
if it's actually still a thing.
I don't know if it's still a thing, but I'm sure I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still a thing either. I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway. All right. Anything else interesting happening? Mika, anything interesting happening with you? Tina, anything interesting? Nothing.
No.
I mean, nothing, literally nothing productive has happened since I left you all yesterday.
So what have you been doing that you're calling unproductive? Because I feel, unless if you're okay telling us, because I feel like it's going to be like I moved to the moon or something like that, and you're like, it's not productive.
No, I'm trying to. So I signed up for like a speech writing and speech giving mastermind. Um, and so I've been trying to think of like what the topic or the theme or like whatever. I mean, I have a million ideas in my head of things that I give a speech about or would want to talk about. And so like I've been asking Chat GPT to interview me to try to come up with like so I spent hours with Chat GPT,
Okay.
just like going back, like he would be like, well, this is my Chat GPT, I think, is a he. I don't know why, but he will say, what I hear you saying is this. Is that what you want to say? And I'm like, yeah, no. So then he'll like ask me another question. So it's just like trying to refine all of these nebulous ideas in my head, trying to refine it into something that I can condense into a 10-minute talk, right?
Yeah.
That's all we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then we had our mastermind meeting right before this, 90 minutes, where it was like walking through. So then the leader asked us all of these questions, so her sort of help us clarify. There's no clarity.
Okay. That's not great.
But her process that she walked me through, like walked all of us through, it was helpful.
Okay, good.
So I just need to do that about 45 times, and then I might have an idea.
Okay, awesome.
So I feel like I know where to go, but I also feel like, well, that's 10 hours of my day that I spent today not being productive. Although maybe I'm that much closer
That
to be. I don't know. It just feels
defining that as not productive is insane to me, at least. Because to me, if I did that, I'd feel like I was productive enough that I could spend a week doing absolutely nothing. And I'm like, oh, I did something so awesome, and I did such a milestone. I did something so productive, and now I get to like do nothing at all and not like I'm sure like do nothing. And I won't feel guilty at all. And that is what you did is so productive. I mean, how much brain power does it talking to Chat GPT?
Oh,
Like,
I've used all kinds of brain power today, which is
yes.
why I'm going to be useless when we're talking about like the murder. Like, where's Gabby? Why did she go to I may be unforgiving of Tempe in this because I'm like, I did all of this today and she's doing nothing but like causing trouble. I may be unforgiving of Tempe.
You'll at least be on my level because I feel like I'm always like I literally have nothing to say about the books you read like that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just like that is first of all, you spent all that time, brain power. You're probably mentally exhausted. I would be at least. I would need to be like wrapped up in a blanket with like no one speaking to me to recover because like if I talk for like a couple hours, I'm talked out. And I need like I'm overstimulated. I feel like I need to be like watching funny YouTube videos like this for about 3 hours, just like reset my brain. My dad's the same way. We have like 3 hour deep conversation. and like it'll be about everything in the whole entire universe. And then he'll go upstairs and watch cartoons, and I'll go in my room and watch, I don't know, comedians, and then we won't talk for maybe like a day, and then we'll be good. So like, you're stronger than I am, girl.
This is going to reset my brain. Like it's
Yes.
already calming me down a little bit because we have fun.
We have fun. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to Mystery Science Theater, mostly really bad B movies.
Okay.
Movies by Ed Wood. I don't really know who that is, but really bad B movies. Yeah, they're movies that you would never even know where to go see. Like
Okay.
you're never going to watch them.
Fine.
Oh, Mika likes watching reactors. I've watched about 20 different people react to the whole series Good Omens. Again, Omens. Because I love seeing how people react to the twists and the funny episodes.
Yes, absolutely. When I was watching The Vampire Diaries, or after I was done it, I was like, what do I do now? So I watched basically everyone under the sun react to like the best episodes, like season 4, episode 7, season 4, episode 8. Okay, I'm just listening to one episode because I've been watching YouTube shorts, and they played the clips from those episodes, and it's so good. That
I did not know this was a thing.
You didn't know it was a thing? People reacting?
No.
So I would watch, if you want to get into it.
I did.
Watch.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. I think everyone else who does it other than a couple people is kind of weird, and they feel like they're just like people sitting in their living room watching TV, basically. But there's a couple people I watch like on the used to be on the regular when they used to post regular videos. I would say Dylan is in trouble, and Trin. I don't know how to say her name. Trin Love? I don't know. She's like an Asian girl. She's
a YouTube search Dylan is in trouble, or then I'll find
yes. Dylan's in trouble. He's like a white guy with like kind of tall hair, and he's a director, or he wants to be a director, an author, or something like that. And then Trin, for you don't know how to say her last name, she's like an Asian girl. She's like a little older than me. And she's been posting since about she was 16. And she has a pretty colorful background, and like it's just like her bedroom behind her. Yeah.
Sorry, I just have to get the sun out of my eyes.
No, go ahead. You're fine. No, I don't know. I like those two people, and I watch those two. And I also watch them. Not really, and not anymore. And I would just watch. It's fun. I don't know. Because they just film themselves watching TV. What?
And they're just filming themselves watching TV.
Yeah, and they're making jokes. They're talking about the editing. They'll talk about, all of it. And they just film themselves watching movies, and they'll have like a couple images. They'll have like the movie sometimes playing in the corner or whatever, or on the screen.
Okay.
And they'll obviously they can't show every single second of it because that would be not legal. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, how are they doing this? Okay.
Yeah, so there's something called like fair right or something like that, like watch or something. It's a thing where you can kind of play some of it if it's for context. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I've also watched reactions to Flag Means Death, Buffy, Firefly. I don't know. The only one of these I know is Buffy, like Buffy and the Vampire Slayer.
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So Firefly, I think, is a show around that time. Never watched it. Like around the Buffy time on the CW, probably. Our Flag Means Death, I think, is like gay pirates. I could be wrong about that. It's like a newer show that's like,
oh, okay, I've never heard
pirates, and like they're kind of gay, maybe. And like, I don't know. I think people ship some of them, but I don't know.
I'm all diamond painting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your reactions to Buffy, I really like those because Buffy gets crazy at some points. Like the romance gets crazy and stuff like that. You ever watch Buffy? You watch Buffy, right?
No, I was too old for Buffy when Buffy came out.
And you never watched it later on.
I never got, yeah.
It ended when I was 2 years old. So I watched it, when I was 13 or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like I was college or post-college or something where it just like it would not have been interesting.
I feel like
I was too old for it.
I feel like it's not like a mature show, but it's ranked like TV 14. So like 14, not sure watch it. But personally, I think it should have been more like 17 and up, 16
Right.
and up. It wasn't like cursing or neutered or anything like that, but there was definitely some
Adult themes.
adult themes within some things that were happening. If you watch Buffy, Spike and Buffy's relationship, that, and Drusilla and stuff like that. Drusilla and Spike and that dynamic felt very like, children should not know about this kind of vibe.
All right.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I watched it, and then I watched it with my mom when I was like 15. So I was like, oh, I forgot that all this happened. Maybe I shouldn't have started watching the show with my mom, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. It's 7 seasons. We have to finish the whole thing now. I can just stop watching it with her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, our flag means death is very, very gay pirates.
Okay.
And
Cool.
Firefly is steampunk sci-fi.
Okay. Yeah.
I never heard of either of these.
I never watched Firefly.
Current shows on TV now, or they're like old shows?
Our Flag Means Death is newer, and Firefly I think was around the same time as Buffy. It was older. Maybe that old, but maybe like probably the 2010s maybe. I'm not sure. I was gonna watch it, but I never did.
2010 was 15 years ago.
I know. Isn't that like the most horrible thing ever?
You're like, oh, was it that long ago? Like 2010.
Well,
15 years ago.
It wasn't as long as Buffy, but
Buffy was like
old.
30 years ago or something.
It
Maybe not.
ended in 07.
2020. Wait.
18 years ago.
Yeah.
I was born. I'll be 20 in June. And I was born in 05. Me and my sister Homa the other day were like, this is just, I cannot believe she's turning 20, she's turning 28. She's like, I just don't even, like, it's just disturbing that I'm this old. Like, I shouldn't be this old.
When I think about how old I am, it is a little bit disturbing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. It's the way it is.
It's the way it is. Yeah.
It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
This is how life works.
Yes. You get older.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna read.
Yes, we're gonna read. We're so longer today as well.
I suppose we're just gonna keep doing this 2 chapters at a time for the
Yeah.
rest of our lives.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. All right.
We're starting on 15?
We're starting at 15. So 15 and 16. Let me fix this banner here. 13. 15. Oh. 15.
Let's go back.
All right. Okay. Firefly 2005.
Okay.
After only a few episodes, and I'm still salty about it.
Oh, really? I thought, okay, yeah.
I need to start saying that. I'm still salty. I'm salty about it. I think that's kind of a funny phrase.
Yeah. I heard people say that, but don't think I've actually said that about something.
I've never said it either. But now that Mika said it, I'm like, I think I like salty about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to see if I can work that into a conversation somewhere. Let's hope I'm not going to be salty about this book today.
Hopefully not. No.
All right, so let's do 15 and 116? No, that is not what we're doing.
I don't think there's 116 chapters in this book. Hopefully not.
In 3 weeks.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's do 15 and 16. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.
I'm sorry, but I think we're supposed to start on chapter 16. Sorry about that, but I just started the audiobook and it said chapter 15, and it was when she wakes up and she has like her head's hurting.
Okay, because I just opened my book and it was at chapter 12. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no.
Okay, hang on.
Let me just confirm.
The odor was undeniable. The sweet, fetid smell of raw flesh and damp bone. Before I could decide on flight or fury, a twig snapped and I sensed movement behind me. As I tried to leap sideways, lightning flashed inside my head, sending me plunging back into that Pharaoh's tomb.
Here.
Chapter 15. I haven't been this hungover in a
Oh,
very long
yeah, chapter 15. I haven't been this hungover in a very long time. So we must be starting at 16.
Yeah.
Let me change this. Let's do 16 and 17.
Yeah. Let me just check.
Chapter 16. Ryan was true to his word, and by 8:45 we were sliding in.
Yes, chapter 16 where we're starting.
Okay. Chapter
Sorry
16.
about that.
No, thank you for that. Chapter. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute. Why is my book opening on chapter 12?
Yeah, no. Not where we are.
No. Okay, chapter 16 and 17. Let's try this again.
Yes. Happy reading. See you in a little bit.
Okay, it looks like we're all done. And like literally, Tina, you and Mika like put done in at the same time. I was
Really?
like, what's going on here?
Wow. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're both listening at the same speed. It probably took us about each like a couple seconds to get into the book.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Were you nervous they weren't going to find anything?
Which I
Oh.
I wanted palmetto palms and shrimp boats, not butchered women and body parts.
Oh my gosh.
I opened my eyes to pigeons and
What the hell? Why is it not pausing? There we go. Okay.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers, yeah. What did I think of the chapter you said, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm liking it. That was really fun. And that sounds bad, but that was a really fun, like, we're into the story, we're into these characters, we're just finding bodies and we're investigating, and it feels more of like a mystery, or more of like a what is it called? A police procedural, right? Like we're like going along with the police. So I liked that. I don't know. Maybe we should read more chapters, because that was really not important, but it was
I know. I kind of don't know what to talk about, other than I feel exactly like you do. Like,
Right.
okay, now we're getting somewhere with all of this.
Yes.
Although I was like, this really couldn't have waited until the more. Like, I'm still mad at her for going the night before.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, what? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And the murderer was for sure there, and definitely bobbed her head.
Yeah, because like the head isn't in the hole anymore, right?
I don't know.
Like she fell into the hole where the head used to be, or maybe the head is still there. I don't know. I thought it said the hole was empty now.
Yes, but the dog just jumped in, so I'm assuming that we really, or presumably jumped in, so we probably didn't find the head then.
Right. So someone dug up the head?
Maybe like, oh, someone found the body parts. I might as well not just lug all this dead body out of here. I might as well just take the head, so they can't do dental records or identify.
Gabby? Oh,
I
no,
don't think.
Gabby, this person has been dead for a while. Okay.
Yeah, it's been dead for a bit longer, yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, oh my God, no.
It was also really cool to see the cadaver dog. Like, I'm kind of optimistically, maybe not optimistically cautious, a little bit cautious about police dogs, and like, let's let them be dogs. They of course they have a job, and that's important for what's it called? Whatever it's called, like dogs who need a lot of work, dogs who need a lot of stimulation. That's great, that's fantastic. But this dog like loves his job, and that's really cute to see that. Like, cute to see this dog just wants to eat flesh. Like, this dog, not in a bad way, but like this dog's just having fun. This dog just searching out nasty smells, being a dog, and it's just cute. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, but I thought that was really cute.
I'm surprised they let her touch the dog.
Really?
Because it's still at work.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what Mika says. I wonder how many bodies they'll find. Yeah, sounds like there were definitely more buried there.
Okay, interesting. Because I didn't even think about that.
So also I'm thinking, like, this was the place on the map with an X.
Yes.
And so, like, yeah, why was that guy in the apartment? Like, is he the killer? Or, like, what? Yeah, I don't know. What's the deal with the map? What's the deal with the guy? Why can't they find the guy? And why have they not contacted 7 women, or the 4 women that are left? Or maybe they have. I don't know.
If I was on this list and I wasn't told that I was on this list, I'd be hiring you. I'd be hiring a lawyer to defend. Like, this is ridiculous. You have to tell these people. They deserve to know.
Or you should at least track them down and see if they're already dead.
Yeah.
And then at least you know, okay, there's something about, I don't know, maybe they're not related. Like, you could at least then, like, but now we've got 3 bodies.
Yeah.
That are probably all related.
4 bodies.
Yeah, Tempe apparently came very close to the killer. Yeah, but they didn't attack her.
Maybe it's like a stalking, like
Or
in
they did
love.
attack her because they knocked her over the head, but they didn't kill her.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they kill her? They still
Yeah.
need her for something.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe it's like a stalk, like I said, like a stalking, like love thing. Like they don't want to kill her. They just, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Other than dismemberment, there wasn't anything, let's say, sexual with what happened to the body, kind of like the first one, kind of like.
Didn't say anything, but she hasn't really taken the body parts out. And with the one woman, we didn't know there was anything until it was x-rayed, until the body was x-rayed.
Yeah.
I feel like the next chapter or two, whatever we read next, is going to be her back in the lab with this body like splayed out. And she's going to be, we're going to find out more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even though it's book one, I feel like we're getting into a rhythm, like in a way. And like in the show, like you know what's going on. Like we find the body, we do the beetles, we eat the skin, we look at the thing, we do what we do. And it's a very fun process. So I feel like this is we're getting into it real quickly, even on book one.
Well, not too quickly. We're halfway, 40% through.
But we're getting into a routine quicker than like 2 or 3 books. Like we're already
Oh,
there.
right.
I feel like this book's like I'm loving this book. I feel like
I really like it.
I feel like it might be 5 stars, and I feel like I might have to continue with the series because like it's really good. And this is what always freaking happens. I'm like, I don't want to read this book. I'm really like I hate the idea of reading this book, but I'll go with you guys because you want to do it. And then I typically love it. Like
You were the one who requested this, though, right? We should do this. Right? Who said anyone want to do the whatever?
Mika.
Mika.
But I think I brought it up. I brought this book series up, and Mika was like, "I read it, but I'll read it again." I'm like, "Okay, fine."
Oh yeah, and I was like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about, but I'm in.
And I was just going along with it.
Become like the Mystery Science Theater book club. We're reading like mystery, crime, whatever. That's sort of our thing now, which is cool.
Yes. Yeah,
totally on board with that.
Yeah.
Maybe we do keep reading more of these books. Let's see. I was on board with our last book until like the last 10%, where I was like, "Now I keep this."
Yeah. This will probably be my 3rd book of the year. I've only read 3 books so far. I've only read 2 books already. So I might only read however many books we read this year. Honestly, at this point, so here we are. But
well, that's okay. And you know what? The year is young. We're only in April.
Yes.
We're not even halfway through. We're 40% through the year. We're 40% through the book. All right. Anything else we have to say about these chapters?
No, not really.
All right. Mika, you got anything? I'm surprised she didn't break her ankle when she fell into that hole.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
That's actually what I thought was going to happen. Well, first I was like, did she just step off, from like the last time when she said like her foot hit air?
Yes.
Or something. I was like, you just step off a bridge or something into like the Quebec River or whatever. Is she like, and then she was in a hole and I was like, oh, she must have like, seriously, she's got to be injured from stepping in a hole.
Yeah. I thought she stepped off a cliff. Oh my God. Yeah. And she really was not like, she's a smart woman, but she was not being smart going out there. I mean, she was literally almost murdered and dismembered.
She should have been. I'm not sure why.
Exactly.
If the killer really was there, why he didn't kill her? Like, why wouldn't he have killed her?
Maybe he has plans for a certain order. Like he's going to do the killings in order and she's last or whatever.
Maybe.
I can't kill her now and ruins my plan.
I don't know. All right. So should we do 3 chapters this time?
I think we should. So we're reading 18, 19, and 20.
All right. I'm okay with that. Let's give that a go and see what happens.
So it would be like 22 minutes, 15 minutes, and 22 minutes again, ish.
Okay.
If that works for you, Mika.
19 on 20. 20. Okay. Mika, that works for you? 18, 19, 20. Show. Oh, wait, hang on. We got something else here. Oh, Mika said, oh, it wasn't you that recommended it. Well, it wasn't me. I never heard of this.
Was it?
Was it Kelsey? But
Was it
Kelsey's not
Kelsey?
here. Was it Christina? Because didn't Christina said she's read it and is going
Oh
to join
yes,
at the end?
Christina was there, but also I thought Casey was there
Maybe.
just for like a little bit, just to be like, oh, I'm popping in or whatever. Here's a suggestion.
Well, we took it and we like it. So,
Yeah.
right? Mika, how are you feeling about this? Well, you've already read it before and you like it. Is anything else coming? Are you remembering anything else? Or no, it's too
Good
long.
question. Yeah. I mean, you did read it, what, 30 years ago? So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't remember any. I don't remember when you were talking about when you read that JFK book, the Stephen King JFK one. I was like, I don't remember any of the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah. You remember the bigger things, but you don't remember all the little details.
Yeah. I mostly remember how much I loved it and like could not put the book down.
Yeah.
I was going to say I might have been reading it in the bathroom, but I don't think so. And I wouldn't do that.
Like it's a
conversation from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, let's get on this then. Where's my banner? We're back. Banner. All right. Let's read 18, 19, 20. See you in a little bit.
Sounds good.
sorry.
No, you're good. It's
More
fine.
tea.
You're fine.
All right, let me get rid of this banner. This is not where I thought we were going with this story.
No. What? Wait. Why not?
Because I was expecting that the next scene was going to be in the lab. I wasn't expecting to spend 2 chapters looking for Gabby.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense that we went looking for Gabby.
I mean, I was like, finally.
Yeah. And it's so interesting how it kind of like her talking to that lady, that woman in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. And so that guy, first of all, clearly that guy was following her the way he followed Gabby. And that
I don't know if it's him. I feel like it might have been one of the cops.
really
Being like,
Brian
or Claudel. Or
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it might have been one of the cops who was like, what is she doing now? Is she looking for more bodies? What is going on? So they're following her. I don't know.
But I thought it was that guy. And the thing is that guy who was following Gabby, was doing all that stuff. He's like the break-in guy, right?
I think so.
I mean, he's doing what he's using that lingerie in the break-ins, which I thought it was the women's clothing. What?
Lingerie in the break-ins. Wait, what are you talking about?
Isn't there a guy, and I thought there was a guy around town, like or in the area, that was breaking into people's houses, putting lingerie on pillows, and then maybe having sex with the pillows and stabbing them. And
I forgot about that.
When he's done with the women on the street, he takes their lingerie that he gives them, puts them in a bag with a big butcher with a big knife, and the one girl was like, "If you want me to come around you again, you gotta put that knife in another room."
Does Tempe know about the guy doing that?
Yes.
So, and she didn't connect it.
No, like why wouldn't, I don't know. That's ridiculous that she didn't connect it, but I guess not.
Huh. Okay, let's see.
Is that guy connected to? Is he the murderer? Is he not only chopping up Whitney's bodies, but is he also breaking into people's houses and murdering them in their pillows? I thought it was the women's clothing. I thought that he was going into their drawers, finding underwear, putting them on the pillows, and then stabbing them. So it's a little less. I mean,
I didn't know where he was getting the lingerie, and I wasn't sure. I just totally forgot about that whole part of the story, because I was like, I don't know why we're talking about this. But now I feel like this is why. Yeah.
I feel like that's also not, it's going to sound insane. I think that's also not that weird. Like, it's interesting that the women are like
stabbing like a
no. Maybe his vibe is creepy, which is a reasonable thing, but what he was asking them to do, like, that's like, they were like these street-aged women who have been doing this for probably decades or whatever, this area, that is weird. I think there's a lot of worse things that they could be asking you to do. Like in Pretty Woman. She refuses to talk. She refuses to have a conversation with someone. And like, that is, I watch people on TikTok who are like, I do this job, and if a man asks me to have a conversation, I am so grateful, and we will talk about whatever.
Oh yeah, I'd rather have a conversation than.
Right. So it's just like, it's strange that was that, but I mean, he's a creepy guy. Reminds her of low,
especially when word gets out that he has a big old knife in his bag.
Yeah. And it's also insane. Like, when I watched Pretty Woman for the first time, I was like, what? Like, I didn't even know that was like a thing. Like, the way that they were like offering themselves up. I thought, like, because today you hear about people online, and if you're gonna if a sex worker,
that you don't know what it's like on the streets because everybody's online now.
Yeah, like sex workers who do it in person, which is very not common. It's mainly online. You video message the person, make sure you know the person, make sure you know what they look like, plan out what's going to happen, plan out the payments, and then you meet up at a location and do that. That's what they all say they do. So how do you don't discuss it with the person before you get in their car. You don't plan out every single part of it.
It's dangerous to be a prostitute.
It's just like driving up on the side of the road and get in someone's car. I'm like,
they're easy to kill. This is like why Jack the Ripper and those people like him are so proficient, is because they're easy to get.
Yeah. And no one's, their families are not
looking for them.
Because the people online,
missing.
They talk about how their families know what they do and they tell people where they go so that they have an address to say, hey, I'm going with this person. This is what they look like. And when I started watching Pretty Woman for the first time, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Mika says, I didn't think Gabby was still alive. I didn't either.
Yeah.
But she has definitely gotten herself into something.
Yes. And I have no clue what it is, because it seems so like Gabby's done this.
I know what it is.
What is it?
She's the girl that puts the lingerie on and lets the guy like beat off to her.
Yeah. No.
She is that hooker. That's what I think.
Wait.
So
you think that
I think she's the hooker.
I think she's the woman who lets him do that. I think
that's why the other one told her that story.
I was like, oh my God.
And just didn't use her name.
Because I guess that's also a good, like, she's not actually like having sex with this guy.
She's doing
research.
She's
doing the easiest thing, right? Just lay there, right? So it's like, it's not, I mean, obviously you're in someone's home or wherever the hell they are. So it's of course risky, but it's less risky.
I mean, it's super risky. So I feel like she's playing this super risky game and she knows it. Yeah. I don't know why Tempe doesn't go to one of her police contacts with this. It's clear. I know. I agree. Gabby is in trouble. But I almost now feel like, well, now sex workers risk their lives. Yeah. It's so dangerous.
It's and it is just insane that they get into a car with a random strange man and they don't have like there's no nothing.
There's no safeguards. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Gabby went this far in her research.
Yes.
Gabby seems a little unhinged to me.
For sure. I couldn't
read
the book. I thought she was gonna start getting into it because that's where the research goes. You have to, act. You have to get into character, especially if you're doing that. I read a book where somebody was researching like this lifestyle as well, and they went to the point is like totally dressing up, standing on the street corner, just like everything up until getting in the guy's car. And it was just like that's just like so dangerous. Like that is like. So it's like she definitely is. I would say she's probably definitely like maybe she is that girl, but I wouldn't say that she would.
End game. Like if she is that girl in the lingerie, and the guy has now become obsessed with her. Yeah. Like, what's the end game? She gets murdered. Like, why doesn't Gabby go to the police? Or why doesn't Gabby, I don't know, find a way
tell her friend what's going on? Because maybe that call was out of like distress and it was like, yeah, I'm just like, just leave me alone, like I'm trying, whatever. You mean like in this guy's house or whatever? I don't know.
But also, where was Gabby that she saw Tempe on the strip, right, trying to find her?
Yeah.
Where was Gabby?
I don't know. Maybe one of the girls like told her. Maybe the girl she talked to was like, hey, I told her.
I mean, I will say, I got to give it to these, like, there is a code of loyalty, I guess, among
these. And they're
You
at
know?
least they're communicating with each other. Like it seems
Yeah.
like the girls maybe like called or whatever that lady who was in the restaurant and were like, hey, like this girl's
Someone's looking for you. I don't know. Yeah.
looking for Gabby. Yeah.
All right. So
I
the
don't know.
plot thickens there.
It
But
does.
now I feel like, do you think Tempe overreacted at the end when Gabby was like, stay out of it? Did
No.
Tempe react by being like, fine, I'm staying out of it forever. You're on your own?
No, I mean, here's the thing. If you're gonna have a friendship where this person's acting this way and you're gonna wait, what, 20, 30 years to do that sooner. Have a conversation like a normal person. I don't know, 25 years from now.
How bad is Tempe going to feel when Gabby turns up dead
Horrible.
in a body bag? Or in a garbage bag. I guess it's not a body bag. It could be a garbage
She's also she is an alcoholic, right?
Yeah, it seems like, because then she said, I took 12 steps away. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So she, yeah.
I think I'm worried that she's gonna relapse. Because it's like if Gabby gets killed, she's probably gonna relapse.
I don't think she's going to relapse, because then I don't think there would be 12 books. Because what, the whole next book, how many more books is she going to be an alcoholic relapsing in? But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about all of this.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe Gabby isn't one of the girls. Maybe
Right.
Get murdered. Maybe Gabby's working with the police.
Maybe Gabby's the murderer.
Maybe.
Is the murderer a chef?
Oh yes, we did get that the saw was it was like a meat saw, but it was like an electric meat saw. It was like a hand meat saw. I'm so worried that the girls were alive.
Off the hands, but he does all the other dismembering like he's trussing a chicken. Like, interesting.
Yeah.
No. I think the girl that's in contact with Gabby is the girl that she talked to at the restaurant.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's like the main woman in that area. You know, like the mom. It's like the mom, right? Like a sorority mom, but like not. Yeah.
I don't know. The plot is thickening.
Yes.
But at least Gabby's alive for now.
This guy was alive now. We know that. Confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. Maybe not for long, but still alive. And I'm glad that we talked about this, because that whole, like, the guy stabbing the dummy doll in the lingerie, I had completely forgotten about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the same guy.
Yeah. And they must also know, they know that it's the same guy because they're probably testing the DNA on it. They're like, oh yeah, this is the same guy. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe they would know. They could maybe match the DNA with that DNA, like the DNA from the bodies, if they were connected.
So wait, I feel like now I have completely blocked out the story about that. He was actually killing people or stabbing the dummy?
He was stabbing the pillows.
Right. So where's the DNA? Where are they getting DNA? So nobody died. He wasn't like actually killing people.
No. I'm saying maybe there's...
Oh, he was just breaking into their homes.
Yes. And he was taking pillows.
Yeah, I
and he was
completely
putting lingerie.
the whole thing out of my head, because I was like, why are we talking about this? Now I don't remember it.
And so I'm saying maybe there's presumably his DNA on the lingerie, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, why would he do what he did with the girls if he wasn't going, if it was just like on them?
I don't know that it was on anything.
Oh. Jump to conclusions there. Sorry about that one.
Well, but I am jumping to conclusions too. Like,
I assume that he was, like on them and on the lingerie, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, well, I'm not. And then I assume that maybe they got fingerprints, DNA, skin cells, hair, something on the dead bodies, on the dead bodies.
On
and
what
maybe
dead
they
bodies?
could, all of the dead bodies we found in the bags.
But it would be the woman that was murdered, her DNA.
But there might be some DNA. His hair falling off, maybe skin cells, something like that, maybe fingerprints or something like that.
Not if like everything's dismembered and decayed. Like if there's barely any flesh on some of these people.
I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know. I'm saying I'm curious if this whole pillow thing.
Plus,
not
DNA in 1991 was not a thing.
What?
Right? O.J. Simpson was what, 92 or 93? That's the first time anybody had ever even heard of DNA. And it was so like not a thing that nobody even knew what it was, which is how he ended up maybe being acquitted. Nobody understood what DNA was. And so the jury was like, we don't understand this. Like,
oh my God. Okay.
DNA was not a thing back in the early 90s.
I mean, I'm assuming now, I don't know what they actually do. They would be testing areas where there's wounds, seeing if there's defensive wounds, seeing if there's anything there, seeing if maybe he cut himself with the saw, his hair.
Yeah,
maybe.
they do say they scraped like under the fingernails.
Yeah.
But they didn't say whether anything actually came up. Yeah, if nobody makes the connection, you're right. Like nobody.
Yeah.
Until Tempe, nobody was connecting anything.
Yeah, I guess other question is the pillow thing and the dead body thing, are those the murders, the serial killer and the pillows, is that two different things not involved at all, or is there some connection? Is there a complete connection? I don't know.
Is the pillow guy still stabbing the pillows, or was that like from the past?
I thought it was recent.
Really do not. I like have this vague memory of reading about this, like reading that, but I don't remember. I blocked it all out because I
think about it a lot. When I think about the book, I think about that like almost not first, but like that's one of the things I think about is like that's so terrifying. You come home and like that's like someone broke into your house and did something so like mundane and gross.
I would move.
Yeah. You tell the police.
In my house or I'm out of here.
No. It's like exactly. So it's like that is so I think about it. I don't know. I think about it a lot when I think about the book. So I don't know, but
because it sort of makes you go, was that his like he was practicing?
Yeah.
Right. Like if those are old crimes, was he just practicing for what he's doing now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. You're right. This whole
and
thing is what's going on.
And the most recent body we found is old.
2 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be one of the first then.
All right. Should we do 3 more chapters?
If that works for y'all, because I'm good for whenever. But
it works for me. Mika, what do you think? 3 more chapters? Or so it's 7 o'clock here, 8 o'clock Mika. Mika, can you do another round, or what do you want to do?
What is happening? There we go. Okay. Let me open the audiobook, see what we got left.
Oh, Mika says, okay. All right.
Okay,
we
cool.
are in business. All right. So we're doing 21, 22, and 23. All right. Very cool.
43%, I think.
It's gonna be awesome. We're getting somewhere. It's getting good.
Yes.
I mean, it's been good, but all right. I'll see you guys in 3 more chapters.
Yes.
Wait, we got to say hi to Christina before she goes away. Hey, Christina.
Hi.
All right. We are loving this book so far and can't wait until it's the end and you can join us and talk about it. So, yeah. I hope you're doing great.
Yes.
Fix the issues from the storm. Okay, good. Good. Yes. Thank you. Yes, we're loving it. Are you sticking around for a while, Christina, or you're like you're popping in and out?
Yes.
Oh, be back when you're done. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
And we'll see you in a little bit.
Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. I think Mika must be done based on her comment, which is not done, but
Yeah.
it's
It's right there. Yeah. Oh my God.
wow,
Those 3
that
chapters.
was stressful.
Yes, those 3 chapters were so much. Like, they were just like, I had to, that's why I turned my camera off. And I turned my camera off and I had to, like, after finding, oh my God, it was so just like, I had to, like, walk around, had to stretch, had to, like, just, like, take a minute after the women were alive when they were, let's just say,
Yes.
impaled. And
Yes.
that, oh my God, and then they definitely happened to the monkey, right? I thought that.
Yeah. I was like, where are we going with the monkey?
And then it was like, and the last thing she read, and she was like, she didn't say it out loud, she didn't say anything to anyone, but that happened to the monkey as well. And then, and that monkey, the description was the monkey was so gross, and like, oh my, it was just hard. I just couldn't. It was just so much. I had to I sped it up. I sped it up to 2.5 because I'm like, I just need to get through this information and be done.
I wonder what happened to Lisa Marie.
Was that, which one was that? Was that the one?
The person working on the monkey?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it was her monkey, sort of like it was her project. She's the one with the creepy boyfriend who like didn't want her to be working on the monkey.
Yeah. It kind of feels a little bit similar to her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Which concerns me. I'm wondering if her daughter's going to become a part of this because, I don't know. Not
Well,
murder,
now
but
the guy knows where it, like, whoever is doing the butchering knows where she lives.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's, and like Mika said, it's definitely not a pumpkin. It's for sure the head. I mean, it's the head of the woman that they found. I mean, this person has to be like, this isn't just casual dumping. It isn't murdering and dumping, murdering and dumping. It is a scheme. It's a game. There's something going on here because why these bodies have been happening for 2 years. Maybe the monkey was practice, right?
Right. Right.
These bodies have been happening for 2 years. What it has to have been planned and orchestrated. I mean, the bodies have been dumped for a while, maybe. I don't know. Like the body that was dumped, a couple of them were dumped for a while, but a couple of them were new. And the other thing is, we're finding them in patterns. We're finding like a woman who's like the young girl one, and I don't know if there's another one that matches her case. And there's one that's like the separation in the plastic dumped in a forest, and then there's the one that's murdered in her kitchen.
Right, which is weird because it does make you go, was he interrupted? Or like where were all the other women killed?
Yeah.
Did he have to go out for garbage bags? Like he didn't bring them with him and she was discovered before he got around to dismembering her?
Yeah.
Like
So because I assume, I
it's
don't know.
weird that there are no other crime scenes.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming they went through the thing. I'm assuming they didn't find any blood or anything that would represent that he did it in his home.
Right. He wasn't doing it in that weird apartment.
Yeah.
But that much blood? Where's he doing it? Like nobody else ever reported, oh yeah, I was walking down the street and there was this like giant puddle of blood, right?
Yeah. And
Or
if
I
he
went
did,
to the apartment, the landlord says, and there was a giant puddle of blood. Like nobody's reporting.
like maybe you were saying, maybe
Yes, he could clean it up, but
he got caught, so he cleaned it up, right? Like if he, with the other bodies, if he wasn't getting caught, maybe he cleaned them up. And then it's also like, how are people noticing some random guy coming in and out of their apartment with multiple bags, trash bags? And then like why was he in the house? Why were the women letting him into the house? What was going on there? And then 16-year-old, she wasn't home, so where did she go? And it kind of also could reference maybe the women are all sex workers or maybe involved in it somehow. Like the one woman,
Well, not the one that was found in her home, because like,
not her,
right?
yes,
Somebody would have
were.
mentioned, oh, by the way, she's walking
Yeah,
down the streets.
but maybe the teenage girl was like when Tempe went to that area and saw a very young girl and was like, she's probably doing it to escape her family, to get away from her home and stuff like that, and to be rebellious. So maybe that 16-year-old girl did the same thing. And maybe that guy uses the knife to chop off the hand. That big blade that he uses to stab the pillows. I don't know.
I don't know. I was so confused at the monkeys, but my God, I know the women were alive.
I literally like that. I almost like threw up when I read that. Like because they weren't alive when they were dismembered, probably because the woman was found dead in the house. But it's like
I can't even imagine.
And so it's all different things. It's not just like one thing. So I don't know.
But yeah, it's true. Like, we can't have 4 different sadistic people out there, right? These all have to be one really bad guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think now we're starting to tie it into it being potentially sexual, because before it was like, well, maybe it was, whatever, I don't know, some sort of weird marker or whatever. But then if you want to tie into the prostitutes and that area and that man who potentially was tied into that, and now that the women were alive, it makes me think that
I'm not tying it into the prostitutes yet. I don't think the prostitutes have anything to do with this. I don't.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
I don't know. Or if it's the same guy, maybe if it's the pillow stabbing guy, it makes me, I don't know. And then it was also so sad seeing those 2 babies. Like, why do we have to have an autopsy on 2 babies in those 3 chapters? Like, it's real, I get it, but it's like we're getting a little glimpse of autopsies here and there, but why? Like, the first one was like, oh, he was shaken. And the second one was like chopped, like something happened to it, chopped up. I don't know. Whatever happened to the second body.
I feel like I could not do her job.
No. Mm-mm.
And I'm so afraid for what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Because that is not a pumpkin.
And speaking of that, and I'm trying to lighten it because it's really making me not okay reading what we read. I think she's going to hook up with Ryan very soon, because she keeps saying things about her ex-husband, and I just feel like either her ex-husband's gonna come back into the picture and something's gonna happen between them, or she's gonna sleep with Ryan.
Well, I also will say I kind of am warming to your idea that Claudel is the killer.
Really?
I mean, a little bit, because he seems to be going to extremes to not want her digging around.
Yeah. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I was very angry when I found out that he did that he was putting in like a thing against her or whatever. It's like, that's her job, is to speculate on how this person was killed and what the connections are between people. That's her job. Like, let her, like.
Yeah, but come on, she's going like way. She is overreaching.
I guess
she's going way beyond what her job is.
I guess.
Yeah. But still, file a formal complaint seems, I don't know, excessive, especially when she's right.
Yeah.
The cases.
Oh yeah.
Especially when like other police officers seem to be agreeing with her that like we should, these are probably are connected. We should probably do something about this.
Yeah.
I think Claudel is just a wannabe alpha male who can't stand that a woman is messing with his investigation. Yes, there's also that. So I feel like I'm not totally on board with Claudel being the killer, but I'm warming to the idea.
Mhm.
No, I think the killer right now, I think the killer is the boyfriend.
The boyfriend of the
This creepy
that
guy
woman.
who's been hanging out with the prostitutes.
Okay. And you think he's the boyfriend of the woman who had the monkey?
Yep. And I think she's going to turn up dead here in the next couple of chapters.
Okay. I can see that.
I
I didn't
don't
even think about that, but I can see it. I don't know. I really these last couple of chapters, they got me more than any other book. Oh my God. Like,
I know.
I
Also, can we lighten the mood for a minute?
Yeah.
Because the first things that I wrote down, like, this is how old this book is. Do you even know who Joe Montana is?
Joe Montana. I think I've heard of him before. I heard of Joel Montana, I think. No?
I don't
No,
know any Joel Montana.
I don't know. Joe
I was
Montana.
like, 100% Tina does not know who Joe Montana is. And then email. Like, email was a brand new thing.
Yes, and she was marveling at email.
I'm like, oh my God, it's right. She doesn't know about email. No, nobody knows about email.
Well,
Email
I
is
think
like,
she knows about email, but she's like, email? This is crazy. Like, this is
I know,
newfangled.
she can send something and she has it.
Yeah. I just like, okay. It's also very much of an old person thing to be like emailing. You know what I mean? Like even now today, like
Well, you have no idea what it was back in the day. Like I was in college going, well, we didn't have email in college. It wasn't until I was out of college.
you didn't have email in college?
No.
How did you communicate with
100%
teachers over, I don't know, periods of time where you couldn't be near them? You didn't.
You didn't.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
No, you went to office hours. That's the only time you had contact with your teachers and in class. Yeah, there was no email. I didn't have email until
And
it was a couple of years after college, I think.
Really?
And
When
even I was like, of course, I'm not an early adapter. So
no, yeah.
but even then I was like, I'm never going to use this. I don't need any of this.
Yes. Interesting. And also all of your classes were in person. They weren't pre-recorded and posted somewhere.
Yeah.
Because like that's what I'm at. That's my sister was like, oh, I can just watch this video later. And a lot of her classes for school, a lot of my classes when I was in online high school, they were just videos of a class uploaded somewhere, and you just watch them.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's like you can't even talk to your teacher there, so you kind of have to email them or message them somewhere. So that's wild too. That's insane.
Yeah. So it's fun reading this book.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, I forget that this is stuff that like we didn't have. Yeah, Mika, I didn't have my own computer until I was 22 or so. Me too.
Really?
And so super expensive.
How much? So like typically it's phone and internet in one, right? And maybe cable even. Like you get.
What are you talking about? No, there was no phone and internet.
Well, okay, so we pay.
There were no bundles.
We pay Appalachian Wireless. Nope, that's not it. Nope. What is it? It's like what do we do?
You dial up. It was dial up.
TDS. There's a company called TDS. Don't know what it stands for, and they gave us a router, and they sent energy. I don't know what the hell it's called into the phone lines in our house so we can have house phones.
Yeah, you had to like unplug your phone and plug a cord into you had to unplug your phone if you were going to use the internet and plug your computer cord into the phone jack where the phone thing was.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would like dial a phone number and you would have the internet.
No way. That's crazy. That's why it's called dial-up.
That's why it's called dial-up.
When I thought dial-up, I thought it was like a thing you turned, so you had to dial it, so to dial it in to the right.
You had to plug your computer you had to unplug your phone from the wall and plug your computer into the phone thing.
Into that little thing. So there was the phone company that you got your house phone and your internet from. There was one company. And you also got cable from that one company too. That's what
cable.
Cable like you had like 5 or 10 news channels and paid them.
I don't know anyone that ever had cable until after college.
What
I
year
mean, I
did you graduate
think
college?
cable was a thing, but it was too like nobody I knew had it. It would be too expensive.
What year did you graduate college?
And cable would have been like HBO. That would have been cable.
Okay, interesting. Huh.
Like you didn't have this thing where there were like 500 channels.
Okay.
You
See,
still had
that's
like
what we had growing up.
NBC, CBS, PBS.
Mm.
And then I feel like when I was in college, maybe, oh, wait, no, at the end of high school, or maybe that was college, MTV. There was MTV.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. But cable would have been, so MTV, I guess, would have been cable. And then HBO, like HBO, Showtime,
Okay.
but like no other channels.
That's so interesting because for us, cable was really expensive. Cable was $200 a month, and that for us was expensive. I don't know if that would be. I mean, maybe for other families that was like whatever, but for us that was expensive. So we had like
right now is expensive. I wouldn't pay $200 a month now for cable.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fine, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna watch YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't need
TV. So occasionally we would have cable, and we had a router for Wi-Fi, and we had house phones, and then we would get cable once in a while. But when we didn't have cable, there was like a poor kids channels that were like fake Disney, and it was called like Cubo or whatever, and it was like kind of like PBS, but like a little bit jankier, maybe like Christian, maybe like PBS, but like Christian and like poor for more poor people. And I don't know, me and my neighbor, we'd watch shows on Cubo all the time. I remember watching Cubo all the time. And so we had that. So it was like when you didn't have cable, you could like, I don't know, hook up an antenna or whatever to the like until we probably moved out, we had box TVs. We had those huge, thick TVs that were this thick in the back.
Yeah.
And we had those, and we'd have cable once in a while. So that's interesting that cable wasn't like that. I guess that didn't come around at the same time.
Mm-mm.
But that's crazy though. It's crazy.
And smartphones were a lot later.
Yeah. So when did you get what year did you get your first smartphone? Or I guess that wasn't like your like
My
the
first
last
smartphone?
Like when you got yours like iPhone or like Android
2009, maybe 2010.
2010, I was 5. So I was 9. I was 9.
Really with a smartphone.
Was I 9? I think I might have been 9 when I got my first. I was in 4th grade when I got my first smartphone.
I was 40 years old before smartphones became a thing.
So we probably actually
at least 40 years old before a smartphone was like a thing.
Yeah. So I was 9, so it was probably like 2014 I got my first phone. So you probably only had a phone for about 5 years before I did, right? 10 years before I did.
Yeah, maybe not even that. Yeah, maybe not even that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. As a student, I could afford like 4 hours of internet per week. Yeah.
Hourly.
To like when I was in Italy, going to the internet cafe because like there was no internet, and you paid like I would go once a week to the internet cafe to send an email, and I was maybe like I didn't have anybody to even send an email to, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody was using email, and this was like in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So like it still wasn't such a big thing. It was definitely a thing. But I remember being like, okay, I can only afford like 15 minutes of internet. It was super expensive.
So how much?
At the internet cafe, I was like giving this guy, €5 for 5 minutes of internet access.
It was probably $1 a minute.
Something. It was. I remember thinking,
crazy.
Yeah.
How much were you paying like when you got internet at home, when you got like a router? I don't know what it was.
I have no idea.
Because we
got paying for the internet like 5 years ago. I don't remember anything. Yeah.
Really? We got, what was it? If you in Pennsylvania or Philly, if you had a child that was in a school, you could tell them, say, hey, I have a child in a school who needs internet for school, and you'd pay $10 a month, and you'd get internet and a phone, and like house phone line or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, first like 2008, 2009. Yeah, I feel like I might have been 2000 because I know I had a it wasn't even a flip phone. It was just like a little phone. It didn't have a screen, it didn't have anything. It just had like the dial numbers on it and then the two like where you listen and where you speak. And then there's just the numbers on the phone. That I had that in like the next phone I got was a BlackBerry, but it wasn't a smartphone. So I don't know that I had a smartphone until 2012, 2013, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wow. Wow. What was your first smartphone?
It might have been an iPhone.
Okay. You don't remember. You remember
No,
specifically the
no.
exact kind. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was. I think it was probably an iPhone.
Do you remember like being so like? Do you remember like? I mean, I was a child. Do you remember like? Oh, I finally got a smartphone and like so excited to like.
No.
I remember. It was we were at
I resisted getting any kind of phone that you carry on your body because I was like, I don't want to constantly be connected. Like I like to be able to go off and do my thing without people constantly calling me. I don't want to be reachable 20 hours a day.
I begged and begged and begged my mom for a smartphone, and she would talk to my friends' parents and be like, so how does it work? Why do you think they need them? Why are you letting them? Are there plans where I can like track what she's doing and like watch her internet use and stuff like that, and like go in her messages and make sure that she's not doing all this kind of stuff wherever.
Phone when you were 9.
Yeah, and I remember
use a phone. What do you do with a phone at 9 years old?
Play games.
Great.
It was Skype because it wasn't an iPhone. Skype my friends, go on Facebook, watch YouTube. So it was like one of those days like it was called Blue and Gold Day because my school was its colors were blue and gold, and we would go like out to the park and like race and like I don't know, eat sandwiches they gave us or whatever, you know what I mean? So we were doing that, and I knew I was going to get my phone that day. It was that day. I begged my mom, I was like, please, can you take me home early so I don't have to go back to school and like spend 3 hours at school before I get to go home and unbox my phone. Mom was like, okay, I'll take you home early, and you know, you can unbox your first ever phone. And I remember being like, I'm getting a phone finally, because everyone in my grade had phones. Everyone had iPhones, and I was getting a little like fake Android that my mom had like 95% control of, and I was like, let's go, and I was so excited. That is like, I remember it so I don't remember unboxing it, but I remember being like so excited. And I was like, I'm finally getting a phone. And I told the teachers at school, and they were like, you don't need a phone. I'm like, yes, I do.
Yes, that's what I feel. Every teacher in the world is like, this is the worst thing that ever happened to school.
It is, and it really has ruined at least the American education system. But I didn't get a iPhone until 1 year after that, until that phone broke. Then I got a phone, and then I got, I think, an iPod instead of an actual phone. And then another phone, and then an iPad, and then my phone now.
So anyway, I brought that up to let us not think about
the heinous as having this freaking book.
This is it is hard to read.
It is hard to read.
I thought it was hard to read from the very beginning, how they talked about the different crimes. I was like, this is hard to read. And now, because I was like, I'm pretty sure these women were alive when this was happening, but I was hoping that they weren't. Because I'm like, there's an awful lot of blood for them to not be alive when this is happening.
Yeah. And it's like, I guess they weren't alive when they were. I didn't even think they would have been alive when they were, let's say, raped. Because that's what it is.
They were chopped up too, because there's so much blood.
And oh my God.
I don't know.
I watched I watched a reaction to the Terrifier last night, and because I'm like, I found this new girl who watches horror, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it, and it's very things that happen are very similar to this book, and there's like a short before the Terrifier existed, like there's a short of him, and there's some things that happen, and it's just very. So the visuals of what I watched were pretty similar to this. So it's like in my, oh my god, it's just like it's good. I'm still liking it. It's very hard to read.
So here's a question. Why do you think this killer is after her? Like, is the killer somebody that she knows, or he just randomly chose her and is like playing with her? Because, right, she's not supposed to be there. She's on loan, isn't she? She's on loan from the place in North Carolina.
Yeah. So she isn't supposed to be there. I don't know. Maybe it is someone from North Carolina. Maybe it is someone, I think it's her ex-husband.
I mean, that would be sick.
I don't know why this person wants her, but I do think this person, I don't know. Whether he knew her or not, he's known better now.
No, they're not.
No, now. I think he's probably been stalking her for years, probably.
But it does make me afraid for her daughter.
Oh yeah, because that guy. I mean, he's an NBA player, almost an NBA player. So maybe he's not a serial murderer, but
no, I don't think her daughter's boyfriend is the murderer.
Yeah, no. I don't think he's the problem, but
I would be like, honey, maybe you should go to Italy. Like, get yourself out of the country.
Yeah, I guess bringing your daughter to the area where young women are getting serial murdered is not exactly the best plan.
Yeah. All right. I'm liking this. Are we halfway through already? And what are we doing? Mika, do you want to do one more? Or are we done? Are we done? We might be done. It's 9 o'clock where Mika is.
Oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock for Mika, and it's 8 o'clock for you.
Yeah. What do you want to do, Mika? Do you want to? I feel like we're kind of at a good stopping point.
Yes. Yes.
There's a head in the front yard, maybe, probably.
Yeah, there's a head in the front yard. And we're gonna, I don't know.
We're at a good stopping point.
Yeah. Yes. Now, what was that guy's name? You said Joe
Montana.
Joe Montana. Okay,
he's like one of the best quarterbacks other than Tom Brady.
Oh, Joe Montana. Wait,
yeah, Joe Montana.
He's like newer, right? He's like, no, that's Joe. No, that's Joe Barrow, right? Joe Barrow, that's his name.
I'm not even sure if Joe Montana is still alive. I think he is, but Joe I don't actually know.
Will this work? I'm definitely gonna look up a picture of him when we're done here because I need to. I feel like I've heard of him. Joe Montana.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Montana. There's a blast. I read that. I was like, oh my God, blast from the past, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana mentioned in the book.
Yeah. She sat down and was watching TV or something and said something about she was Joe Montana. And I was like, oh my God. Where's my glasses?
Yeah, I also don't watch football. So
yeah.
I don't watch football once.
You weren't watching football in 1985 either. So
no, yeah.
Montana was playing.
85 was when my older brother was born.
Yeah.
10 years before I was born. So no.
Oof. All right. Well, I feel this has been a fun night. And I feel better about my day after tonight. So thanks, you guys.
Yes, I'm glad because you were productive today.
Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about not having gotten anything done. I'm going to just enjoy what I did.
Yes.
And what we did tonight. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me tonight.
Of course, it was fun.
Yeah. Okay. The next week, though, is going to be really good for this.
Yes, it will be. Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going Tuesday on your channel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Have a good weekend, you guys.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Tina.